All right, guys, and welcome back. How's everybody doing today? It is Tuesday, and we are back in action, guys. Tap the like button, subscribe to the channel. Welcome to the Crypto Report, folks. I am Crypto Kip, and we got some more news for you today. Got to talk a little bit about what's going on in these markets. We've got some drama between Elon and the president yet again. Unbelievable. And we have stocks that have been just rallying lately. Now you got Circle that says they want to be a bank as well. Incredible. The Fed spoke earlier this morning, and even though it was quite a set of bullish statements, we're kind of having a trickle down on Bitcoin this afternoon, this morning, which is very, very interesting. So why might that be? We'll discuss it and some other news surrounding the Fed and some big changes. Fed Chair Jerome Powell is going to be out. In the title, I said Fed Chair Jerome Powell's out. He's going to be as of 2026. So that's coming up, guys. Something to be looking forward to if you did not like the Fed's policies. And certainly we know one person individually did not like those policies. The president certainly did not like the Fed Chair Powell's stance on what he was doing with these rates. We did see the EU cutting their rates. We saw the Bank of Canada cutting their rates, but we did not see the USA cutting rates. But we did have some news come out today suggesting that we will be having that happen sooner rather than later. Likely starting in September. There's a chance that it starts a little bit sooner than that, but we'll talk a little bit about it. Shout out to John in the chat, James, Crypto Keeper, Kevin in the chat as well. How's it going, guys? Welcome. Tap that like, subscribe. If you're watching on X, give us a repost, and let's hop on in. So today, Bitcoin sitting down 1%. Let's just look at the Bitcoin chart here for a second. And we were talking about the potential rejection. By the way, nothing on this channel is financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. Do your own research. Crypto is volatile. It's a risky asset. And I love crypto. So does Black Sea. That's why we're bringing this content every single day. We talked about yesterday on my live stream how, a little bit of resistance at that 109 level. Didn't even quite get there. Got up to 108 and change. And now we're kind of trickling back down. This was a really big boost, okay? After getting a little bit of fear, what this was fear over the conflicts happening in the Middle East. Some of that resolve has occurred. Some of that has occurred, and you're getting a little bit of a bounce, a little bit more out of the media lately with that. And now we're focused on the big, beautiful bill, which just passed in the Senate. And now Elon and Trump are fighting in the public eye again. And what we are seeing is Bitcoin slipping a little bit. And it could potentially retest back down to 100. What's crazy right now is with the stock market rallying, you'd love to see, and it would make sense to see Bitcoin rally as well. Right? What we also have going on that's very positive for Bitcoin is the Fed rate cuts, okay? We're going to talk more about that. Bitcoin dominance is continuing to surge. I found an article today of some people saying that altcoins are just going to fizzle out and die, right? Some people believe that. I don't believe that all altcoins will do that, but I do believe that a lot of them are worthless, really. But what we do see in a crypto bull market is an altcoin surge at some point, right? Bitcoin dominance rallies first. That's kind of what we're in right now. Now, here's the crazy thing about what we've been going through. Okay, guys. Normally, these moves for Bitcoin are a lot more fierce and sudden. Like from the bottom to the top of Bitcoin dominance here, that was 609 days. Okay. From the bottom here to where we're at there, we're already at 1,000 days, okay, for this Bitcoin dominance rally, which is pretty incredible. A very long, drawn out Bitcoin rally. Now, if you go from the bottom to this top, okay, that's 1,085 days. Again, I want to look at this one more time. So from here to where we're at, 1,030. Yeah, we are coming up to the point where over the next 100 days or so, you would hypothetically be seeing Bitcoin top out in its dominance and that altcoin season come. But there is a reason to be skeptical for a lot of altcoins. Okay, there are some good ones and there are some, maybe not so good ones, right? And you have to know that when you're getting into the altcoin market, you're taking on more potential volatility, less of a chance of upside compared to Bitcoin. But if that upside does occur, you buy these altcoins because, that's where you get your 20x, 50x, 100x, hopeful plays. And you can never guarantee anything. You never know what anything's going to do. But these are things that we've seen historically in the crypto space. So this is kind of where we're at, what I'm looking at on the charts right now. Where my mind is at is hopefully we get the altcoin season, because I think altcoins are fun and they produce massive gains when they go well. But do not ignore Bitcoin. I don't think we can ignore Bitcoin. I don't think you could ever ignore Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the fulcrum of this entire market. It's the thing that companies are putting on their balance sheets. It's the thing that some of the largest financial asset managers are talking about. You see companies allowing people to use their Bitcoin holdings as a part of getting approved for loans for a mortgage now. It's incredible what has happened and developed over the last few years. How's it going, Crypto Keeper? Clears Beef in the chat. What's going on around town? How's it going? I'm still sick, by the way, guys. I'm feeling a little bit better today. Life's been tough lately. Not going to get into it. But I got sick. We couldn't post content for 7 days. That was tough. But we keep on going every single day, guys. Every single day. All right. And I'm still very optimistic about the future of especially Bitcoin, obviously, but crypto overall. I think there's going to be a lot of nice rallies in certain altcoins, and I think it's going to be a lot of the ones that we've discussed. I'm again not a financial advisor. You got to do your own research. Yesterday, can you believe it? How many times have I told you guys this? XRP, okay? See this $2.32 level? It is unbelievable. What an amazing opportunity that move is in volatilities. It's unbelievable. It keeps rejecting off $2.32. Now, eventually it's going to break back above it. I think. I think, again, I can't predict the future. But, excuse me. But it has been rejecting there. And, so long as we are going to see higher prices for XRP in the future, which I think we will. My opinion. Eventually we're gonna have to break through that. So in the meantime, it's been a nice level of resistance, something to keep an eye on for some of the moves. Could we come back down to $2 for XRP? It's certainly possible. Bitcoin slipping a little bit today. If you see Bitcoin continue to slip, XRP could easily slip back down. Crocoin's been a little bit weak lately. Dogecoin's testing down to my level that I've discussed. Had this drawn out for such a long time. I was talking about this level for Dogecoin since back up here. I mean, really, I had this range drawn out. As soon as it hit the top of this, we found this range, watched it wick down there, came back up, was thinking, hey, maybe it could come back to the top of this range. Though, at this point in time, what I was saying was, well, the fact that this wicked down but didn't have a body candle close down, well, now we had the body candle touch. I mean, that could still could go lower to this even wider area of the range. I mean, there's a chance that Dogecoin even comes back down to 7 cents before finding a bounce. And yes, there's ETFs coming later this year for Doge, likely. Something we've seen, something we've talked about. How's it going, Eric, in the chat? How's it going, Ultra Justin? WCB is watching on Rumble today. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Hey, good to see you. Yeah. Pepe slipping back down. Altcoins are showing weakness right now. Total market cap slipping. Okay. We've looked at some charts. What's a big gainer today? Not much. What's a big loser today? Quite a bit. Jito, SPX 6900, Arrow, Maple. I'd never heard of Maple Finance. Okay. Wow. Look at that. Dog with Hat Bonk. Memes are coming down a little bit. A little bit of weakness in the market today. The big, beautiful bill has passed in the Senate. I'm going to say, I guess this is one of the catalysts that's a really intense face of Fed Chair Jerome Powell right there. I'm going to say this is one of the catalysts that I guess could be driving us down today. There's been a lot of speculation over this bill. There's always a large group of people that oppose everything that the president does. That's not a secret at this point. Frankly, these bills are so boring to talk about. How does it truly affect me and you day in, day out? It's kind of not. If you want to make the argument, it is like, who cares about all these bills, right? I don't. What I do care about more so is the monetary policy for our country, the printer, the money printer, the Fed. Now, we did have conversation from Fed Chair Jerome Powell today. Look at that face. Powell does not rule out a July rate cut. It's going to depend. Right now, looking at the odds, there's a 20% chance that the Fed is going to cut rates in July, an 80% chance that they don't. Now, that is something that we were expecting a rate cut in July for a while in the beginning of the year, and the odds have shifted in the wrong direction for July. But now in September, really good odds that we're going to get a rate cut. September, October, and maybe even December. By December, there's a 46% chance that we come down in an entire, what is that? That is, guys, I'm having a little bit, I'm sick. I'm not as sharp as I could be. 75 points, 75 basis points. Okay. 0.75 percent, which would be pretty significant. And that would be the kind of thing, if by December we're seeing that would be the kind of thing that would get me optimistic for, Bitcoin dominance to potentially top out. There is a world, guys, and I want to acknowledge this. There's a world where Bitcoin dominance keeps surging because the institutional demand is just so great. And you see retail start chasing Bitcoin instead of chasing altcoins. There's a chance that happens. There is a chance that happens. I think, however, it is more likely that there will be some kind of altcoin rally. Is it going to be as great and grand as it has been in the past? I don't know. I can't predict the future. But I will tell you that I am keeping an eye on altcoins, and I am keeping an eye on Bitcoin dominance. And I know that historically people have liked to speculate on these altcoin assets. And when they do, with these low market caps that they have, a little bit of money goes a long way in a low cap alt, in a mid cap alt. When the risk on asset rally begins, and the risk on asset rally can truly begin when we start getting some of these cuts. Now, we did see news recently that the Fed is going to be stepping down, at the end of the year, and the replacement is coming. Okay. So that's real. That's coming. We don't know who the replacement's going to be still. Okay. But yes, the money printer will likely be turned back on, and that will only in turn make Bitcoin more valuable. When that money printer is turned back on, it would make Bitcoin more valuable. And now we have, a headline come out like this: the president fueled Bitcoin mania leaves most crypto in the dust. Okay. On the faces of 2025 looks like a banner year for crypto. Bitcoin hitting record industry, on the face of it, but beyond the bullish headlines in the rally, a vastly different landscape comes into view. Most of the so-called altcoins, once touted as competitors to the original crypto asset, are nursing steep declines, with more than 300 billion of market value wiped out so far this year. And you know what they're not talking about in this article, even though this is very bearish for altcoins, is that this has kind of been something that we've seen in the past. It's Bitcoin dominance rally. Sea of red points to wider, and so they go on to talk about, Bitcoin reigns supreme, giving way to predictions that large swaths of the sector will become a digital wasteland. Here's Nick Philpott, the co-founder of trading platform Zodia Markets, said of altcoins, I think they're just going to die, frankly. They'll just wither away. Technically, a lot of stuff will just sit there and gather dust in perpetuity. There will be a lot of that. I do agree there will be a lot of that, but not all of them. I mean, here's the deal, guys. There's 17.98 million altcoins, okay? Of course, 17 million of them are going to die, right? Maybe even 17,500,000 of them. That's why you don't just jump onto the train for anything. You have to do your research, do your due diligence, pick a project that you believe in, not because it's funny or neat. And if you do have a meme that you want to get in because it's funny or neat, well, then you got to understand what you're doing on that. You're taking a very, very, risk on play, and you are, at that point, you're not investing, right? You are participating in a highly speculative market. And sometimes these things pay off. I've had a lot of fun doing it. I've done it. I'm not saying not to do it. I'm certainly not telling you to do it. I'm not giving any advice. I'm not doing that. Okay. But I know how this works. I've seen people do it. I've done it myself. But I want to remind you guys that, there's a new coin trending on DexScan every day. That's not what you should be focused on. I don't think. I'm not focused on these things. I'm focused on the macro trend for crypto overall, the news, reporting that news, discussing that news on a day in, day out basis, focusing on Bitcoin, and then other projects like XRP and what's going on with XRP. There's a lot of potential integrations with governments and banks for XRP. Ethereum is certainly a very notable altcoin. It is the largest one next to Bitcoin. And you still have people building solutions. Robinhood just built a solution. Here's a great example. Robinhood launches stock tokens, reveals layer 2 blockchain, and expands crypto suite in EU and US with perpetuals, futures, and staking. Something that Black Sea has brought up to me recently, and it's a good point, is that this altcoin season's happening in the stock market. Well, Robinhood is pumping. Circle has been pumping. Robinhood launches stock tokens, reveals layer 2 blockchain, and expands crypto suite in EU and US with perpetuals, futures, and staking. This is actually a really crazy update. On top of the fact that they're doing layer 2 blockchains, okay, they're going to be doing a layer 2 blockchain, which is incredible. They're now doing these US stock and ETF tokens in the EU, giving eligible customers exposure to US equities and Robinhood stock tokens featuring 0 commissions or added spreads from Robinhood. Other fees may apply. Dividend support and 24 hours a day for 5 days a week access. That's incredible. That's incredible. And so, some people might be going, well, why would I buy MOG when I could buy Robinhood? And look what Robinhood did yesterday. Investors are getting more savvy, and stocks are getting more attractive to crypto people as well, I think. So it's a very interesting time. Altcoins have a lot of competition with each other. And as these crypto natives are excited about finding gains, they're looking for gains not just in crypto, but in the stock market as well. And the stock market's at all-time highs. Bitcoin's at a little bit of a standstill. And altcoins are, in the minds of many, dying. But I don't think altcoins are dying. I just think they're waiting for the Bitcoin dominance move and altcoins to rally. Still a little sick. I'm hanging in here. Crypto Keeper says, cut the stream short and get some rest, man. You deserve. Hey, I'm trying. We'll do it. We'll do it. I'm back, man. I'm just happy to be back. We're hanging in there. We're hanging in there. I appreciate you, Crypto Keeper. Thank you, my friend. If you guys are watching, go ahead and just tap that like button. Give it a repost on X and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this type of content. But this is a very significant story, and we're seeing a lot more adoption, a lot more large moves like this from players like Robinhood and others. GameStop buying, we talked about that yesterday, but you still do have some very big predictions for Bitcoin out there. Bitcoin targets 200K as Profit metrics enter cautiously optimistic zone. Bitcoin's high profitability signals possible correction in the short term amid calls for 200K Bitcoin price later in 2025. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, so in November 2022, Bitcoin bounced from the bear market bottom at 15,500, staging a 590% rally to the current price of about 107. So that was the low in the bear market. Here we are today at 107. This price action has seen higher highs and higher lows, forming a channel on the weekly time frame. Bitcoin is about to break out of the multi-year channel. That's the multi-year channel. This next leg will be explosive, but what they're looking at is a potential dip down to, what is this, 91K? Again, so we might see a 91K bounce here is what they're potentially looking at, it looks like, and that does look like a very nice chart. That does look like a very nice chart. I'm going to try to draw that one out myself and just keep an eye on that because that's good to keep an eye on. And 91K is a level that we have been talking about here. I got it at like 92, but something down there is very feasible. We've seen ourselves test there. Here's 91. Look at these wicks getting down to that level. Something very, very logical. Okay. Are we in the mode where we can just go to a new high right now? I'm going to say it's possible with the news we got going for the Fed rate cuts. It's possible, but you are getting a lot of resistance up here as well. And we kind of have 1, 2, 3, we're kind of rejecting steadily right here. So something to keep an eye on, Yeah. Kind of rejecting right there, keeping an eye on that. But yeah, I do believe that we could see Bitcoin go to 200,000. I think it's possible for this thing to go to 300,000. I think this is TA that a lot of people are looking at. There's significant resistance here, but if we do break out, it could be big. And there's so many folks talking about this. So many different analysts and research firms talking about this kind of move. And then, you've got Business Insider writing similar stories. It needs to clear this key technical resistance to open the door to a 25% rally. Moving up to 143 is their next target. So everybody's trying to predict the next rally. Meanwhile, we do have other big news coming up. German banking giant to launch crypto custody services. This is just one more story in the line of many bullish stories we have for crypto. Deutsche Bank is reportedly planning on offering crypto custody services, enabling its customers to store cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin. Bloomberg reported today that it learned about the development from sources who have direct knowledge of the matter. According to the report, Deutsche Bank plans to launch its crypto custody service as early as 2026. Now, Deutsche Bank launching their crypto custody service as early as 2026. This is bringing me back to a very interesting conversation. Can this bull market go past what we've originally looked at as the time horizon for this bull market? Okay. Can this bull market do something different? What we've seen, guys. Wow, this has really been a wild ride. I haven't zoomed out and looked at these weekly candles for Bitcoin in a while. What a wild weekly candle this was. This last weekly candle was actually insane. Very strong. From 100 back up to almost 110. That was a nuts candle. Huge candle. Not as big as these candles over here, but still a big candle. Historically, what we've talked about is from the bottom of a bear market, okay, to the highs, a bull market lasts about 1,070 days, okay? From the bottom to where we're at today, it is 973 days. We have 100 days left before historically the bull market is over. Do I think that the bull market actually ends in 100 days? At this point in the game, I don't think so. Now, if all of a sudden in the next month, we start exploding and we're up to 120, 130. And there's still like, 80 days left for that hypothetical end of the bull market in what historically, like the 1,070 day level, guys. Okay. That brings us out to, this is like the first week of October. Okay. But we're probably going to be getting rate cuts in October and December. And I think those are bullish catalysts. You keep in mind as well, Deutsche Bank launching crypto custody service as early as 2026. That's the beginning of the year. It's the beginning of a new year. Are we out of the 4-year cycles? There's more of an argument, more so than ever before, that we could be out of the 4-year cycles, or at the very least, which is what I'm really kind of focused on, is perhaps we're just going to have a little bit of an extended rally here. Okay, something I'm getting more and more open to. I've been inching to it. I've been inching towards it. It makes sense to me. It's possible. We don't have to have the end of the bull market in October of 2025. The price action has suggested that potentially that would not be the end. Putting price action aside, Deutsche Bank launching crypto custody in the beginning of 2026. There's a lot of people that are going to be launching crypto things in 2026. We're going to have to see, guys. Again, none of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but these are some of the things that I'm looking at and considering right now. B Fire in the chat says, I have to tell you, Kip, I'm all in on XRP, but totally frustrated with every time it pumps immediately goes right back down the next day. Well, that is something that we've seen over and over and over again for XRP. How many times has it rejected off $2.32? It's been stuck. Definitely one that was the most exciting when it was pumping, when it made this move from 50 cents all the way up. But now it's on the struggle bus, right? And if Bitcoin starts exploding, right, and we get that altcoin season, it could definitely make moves higher. If Bitcoin slips down to 92 or 91K again before the continuation of the upside, and we go into like 2026 with this thing, XRP could easily be slipping down a little bit lower before coming back up. And, a lot of people are frustrated with a lot of altcoins right now. That's just the reality of the situation. But yeah, DPFX says nearly all the good stuff has been stripped from the BBB by process clerks. I don't know the Better Business Bureau. All the good stuff has been stripped from the BBB, but I don't understand what you're saying. DPFX necessarily, the Better Business Bureau. I'm familiar-ish with that, but you want to expand on that thought? Kurt with a awesome emoji in the chat, just throwing an emoji out there. John 316 says ginger tea and recover. You're probably right, but I've been working really hard. I've been working real hard, and I'm a little tired. I'm a little sick. A little beaten up, but the show must go on. Work's been tough. And it was such a bummer not to be able to post for 7 days. I'm happy to be back, guys. I'm happy to be back. It was really a funky week, I'll tell you. It was a funky week. But smash that like button. Thank you guys for tuning in. I do love and appreciate all you guys that tune in for these crypto updates and these conversations. Let's do a little bit of a Q&A. I've gotten through a lot of the stories for the day. Deutsche Bank. Let's talk about this too. Here's the president coming out and saying, when asked if he will deport Elon Musk. Whoa. We'll have to take a look. We might have to put Doge on Elon. You know what Doge is? The monster that might have to go back and eat Elon. He gets a lot of subsidies. So they are fighting again. Why? Elon does not like the big, beautiful bill. He thinks he's going to bankrupt America. The president obviously loves it. I don't think markets like when Elon and Trump are battling, which is crazy. They have a public spat, and then all of a sudden the crypto market's slipping a little bit. Can we take a look at Crowcoin? We can, yeah. Process clerks have nearly stripped all the big beautiful bill of the BBB, the big beautiful bill. I just thought you were talking about the Better Business Bureau. Process clerks have nearly stripped the big beautiful bill of all its good stuff. Well, I don't know. I honestly, I haven't taken a deep dive into the big beautiful bill myself. I'm pretty burnt out on politics. I just am focused on kind of these markets, and really, it's really funny because 99% of people that have an opinion on the big beautiful bill don't really know anything about it, and you could be for it or against it. But it's kind of the world we're living in, where everybody has these really strong opinions, but the opinions they have are only strong because of the opinions of others that they agree with. We're in these echo chambers, and it's like, okay, my people are for it, or my people are against it, and so I'm against it, or I'm for it because my people are for it. And it's just this groupthink thing, and nobody really digs into the weeds. And even when they do, most people don't understand what's really going on in these bills. The big beautiful bill is like 980 pages. Did anybody here read the entire big beautiful bill? Of course you didn't. So what are you going to do? You're going to listen to politicians go on podcasts and talk about their opinion on the big beautiful bill. Oh, the folks on this side of the aisle don't like the bill. Oh, the folks on this side of the aisle do like the bill. And it's all about getting reelected and supporting the allegiance that you have in the politicals. So, Elon and Trump battling, we don't love to see it. Somehow it seems to be affecting the market. The big beautiful bill, and we saw even with the Genius Act, right? That was something that was a heated debate as well. Some people hated it, some people loved it. This is politics, and it's in crypto, which is just so wild that it's a part of this asset class and it's part of the conversation. But it is. What I'm focused on is Fed rate cuts. It's looking good right now, guys. I'm not focused on the drama between the president and Elon. I don't love to see it. I think it's ridiculous. We did see an announcement from the Fed this morning. Fed Chair Powell says the solid majority of the Fed expect rate cuts later this year. This is bullish for markets. And then we talked about some people saying that altcoins are going to perish, which I disagree. I mean, a lot of them are useless and have no value. But yes, if you guys want to support the channel, you could sign up with some of the affiliates in the description of this video down below. Check that out if you haven't done so already. Different places for you to play around in the crypto space. Golf and crypto soon. Wouldn't that be fun, man, to do a golf crypto show? Yeah, let's take a look at Crowcoin. Crowcoin slipping. Yeah, it's below the level, had a rejection off the top of the range. I think, and I'm not financial advisor, I think it's coming down to 7 cents again. I don't know. It's what I'm looking at. So something to keep an eye on. Could have come lower. Yeah, I mean, it could come back down to 5.6 cents. I mean, it really could. I wouldn't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear about it, but I have to take a look at it. It's possible. We've had some weekly candles that have dipped down there in the past. It's possible, but looking to hold at the low end of 7 cents, hopefully. Yes. What else is going on, guys? MDB says economists who have read it states it will add $5 trillion to the deficit. What is the deficit right now? Let's see. What is the U.S. trade deficit? Yep. See, this is why you need ChatGPT. I don't know what it is right now. I don't know what $5 trillion is in, but I do know, have you guys ever seen this? This is crazy. I mean, this is probably it. 37 trillion. I mean, we're in a $37 trillion. Oh, there's a Doge clock. Wow. I've never seen this Doge clock in here. Very interesting. This data is still climbing though, and it shows no signs of stopping. Yeah, what's another $5 trillion on this mounting problem? We're not heading in the right direction, okay? There you go. U.S. trade deficit. Is this with China? U.S. trade deficit. It's what is this? 1 trillion right now? That's a million. That's a billion. That's a trillion. 1 trillion. So what is it going to be? 5x now? Crazy. Guys, the president's talking about Bitcoin because, frankly, this is not headed in the right direction. How do you fix this problem? I don't know. I don't know how you fix. I don't think anybody knows how you fix the problem. I don't think there is any way to fix the problem. I don't think there's a way to stop the U.S. from going bankrupt. But is the U.S. actually going to go bankrupt? As long as our military is huge, I don't think the U.S. goes bankrupt. As long as we're a global power and a stronghold for the globe, I don't think the debt matters. It's kind of crazy. It's not good. I don't understand how we got to this problem in the first place. I'm not an economist. I'm not a financial advisor. I do know that we have reckless spending with the government, though. That is obvious. That's why the Department of Government Efficiency was brought into the fold in the first place. I don't know why it was controversial. The Department of Government Efficiency popped up in the first place. I think it's crazy that now the president and Elon are battling, even though they just partnered up on the Department of Government Efficiency. It's wild. And then the big, beautiful bill is going to add, $5 trillion, according to some economists, to the US debt. It's wild. What a wild time. Bitcoin's pretty good, huh? Isn't that cool? Isn't Bitcoin pretty cool? I think so. Smash the like button if you like Bitcoin. Subscribe to the channel for more content. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm going to get back to some more work. More videos coming for you later today. As always, guys, do me a favor. Subscribe if you do enjoy it. Turn on your notification bell. Please note, nothing here is financial advice. I do love and appreciate all you guys watching the Crypto Report. We'll see you in the next one, guys. Have a good one. Peace.